I want to say thank you to everybody who decided to watch this video. And I want to send a special shout out to my patrons and Twitch subscribers. You guys help me make this channel better. And I want to say, enjoy the show. What's up, guys? Hey, I'm here. Ups. Yeah, let me move my mic. It would actually help if I had my mic in front of me, wouldn't it? This is the first stream that I'm doing since I changed my setup. So bear with me. I'm still trying to get used to everything, how I want everything. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, that's fucked up. Well, there's my problem. All right. All right. I wonder if you guys can actually hear me better. And the mic may be in the other shot. I'm working on some art today. Quite frankly, it's been a while since I've actually streamed, and um, I'm just gonna say it. Like, the last few months have just been very difficult for me. Been going through some financial issues where um I've just been dealing with a lot of shit. So I haven't been able to stream as much as I wanted to. And I'm sorry about that, guys. I really am. I thank everybody who supported. And I know I put out some videos on my YouTube channel. It's just that I've really been dealing with some issues, and I don't know. I don't know. I've been dealing with some issues, so I have been I have been working on some art, but it's just one of those things where it's just like I kind of want to I don't know. I am it's just one of those things where you just like fuck the world. The world is just like fucked. And I've been keep in touch with YouTube and shit like that. And of course, if you haven't done so, join the Discord. The Discord server. I'm in it. I watch it. I interact. I actually probably interact more with the Discord server than what I normally do. A few things have actually changed. I actually did update my a new desk. You'll see it when we start to get to streaming. I also got me a new chair, a little bit more comfortable. Um, so yeah, that's the thing that happened. Um, but yeah, no, I've it's just been a difficult few months, and I thank everybody who supported me. You have no idea how much that helps, but it has been difficult to say the least, and yeah, yeah, it is. mm, That is it's just one of those things where you just like you kind of have to like step back and kind of go into a mode where it's where you just be thinking, and I know part of it is dealing with um seasonal discomfort, where it's not as much sun, and you guys saw me with my fucking shorts that I had over the summer when I was just outside and enjoying the weather. Oh my god, I miss outside, and it's cold, and I can't go outside as much as I want to, but I miss outside. I really miss outside, and yeah, yeah. So how's everybody been? How has everybody been? Um, I kind of wanted to come back to a piece of art that I was working on. Um, Something that's not TOS for YouTube. So I wanted to kind of get to it and just enjoy some shit. Of course, we're gonna review some videos, but let's go to the art. Let's actually see the art. Can you guys see it? Um, yeah. And for those of you guys who know what this actually is, um, it's actually a piece of art that I've already done before, but I just wanted to kind of touch it up, and do just better. Let's close this. I just want to do just a new version of it, with the different colors, different type of feel. Um, yes, I did get my inspiration from Mega Man. I did get that inspiration from Mega Man, and yeah, actually akin to um, more akin to Mega Man X. Um, so I wanted to actually work on this. Um, just let's cover a few housekeeping things. I've already said to go ahead and join the Discord. Discord links are in the YouTube description and the Twitch description. Also, if you haven't already yet, follow on Twitch, like and subscribe, all that other good shit. What else? Wow, I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, support the Patreon. The Patreon is actually a very, very big thing. If you want to help support the channel, help me grow where I can actually start doing more of this full time, definitely help support the Patreon and things of that nature. Um, this is an awesome chair because it actually is a little bit more comfortable than what I'm used to. Oh god, this is actually a very comfortable chair. I can actually just sit back and enjoy the shit. Um, mm, mm. So yeah. How's everybody been doing? I know we've been watching the things where the fight's on the left, and of course the Republicans are calling each other. So that's been an interesting thing to watch. Um, what else? Um, shit. I don't know. Of course, I've been going back and actually playing Ragnarok, and I not only did I like beat the Berserker King, I still get stuck on Gana, and it's not even my gear because I actually have topped out gear, but Gana and just some of the timing and the feints that she does, oh, it's irritating. It is fucking irritating. Like one fucking run, I would actually get almost all the way down to like 20% of a health bar. But the thing is, the next run she catches me on her first or second attack. Oh god. Yeah, I'm a 41-year-old man. Just turned 41 the Thursday before last. Still talking about video games. I know. Ugh. Anyway. So I did the art, and yeah, I'm kind of like, when you actually do art and you actually see where you're at, sometimes you're like, I don't want to touch it, but time to actually get the ball rolling. Now, I do know I need to do this. I need to figure out colors. I already know that I'm gonna actually color this. This is the art set that my friend got me for Christmas. Yeah, like my friend got me an art set for Christmas, and oh my god, it is extensive. It is very extensive. The art set that my friend got me for Christmas. Um, definitely. I do definitely do thank her for buying me this art set. And before I actually start, I want to actually, because I'm gonna actually take pictures of this shit. I'm gonna actually put it out there. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Nope. Nope. Just taking a picture. Nope. Just taking a picture of this. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those things. Where all right, so one of the things that I actually like doing when I work on a piece of art is just pushing myself and see what I can actually do. Um, and hold on, I have to respond to someone. Yeah. So this is what I'm actually going to work on. Sit back, relax, and we're gonna see what this afternoon brings. I think this color is a little bit too dark for it. So let's do a lighter color. Wrong tip. Talk about just a tip, right? I went back and was watching I was actually watching Keffel's coverage of Destiny's debate with JonTron. And it was pretty interesting how many people didn't know that Destiny changed his politics over just spite based reasoning. And let me just see something with the cam. That's not the camera I want. Because I think it's set for the filter on it. Chroma key, take the chroma key off. There we go. Close. A lot of people didn't realize how spite based Destiny's politics actually became when he the more he actually started streaming. And I know a lot of people who was like debate bros bad. They how do I put it? They don't see it as they see he's always been that way, but it's no, you can just tell. And I know I actually did a video where you can just tell that somebody like Destiny, he kind of course he's the omni liberal, but it's one of those things where you get a lot of liberals on, like if it affects them and the policy affects them, then they really do, they will stick up for it. But when it negatively affects them, then they go full like opposite way. And I feel like that's the nature of a lot of human beings. I'm not saying that some human beings are less than others. I'm not saying that some human beings are motherfucking what I would say this. We don't give enough to the fact that people's politics are affected by what affects them. We don't. We say it's, well, they're just evil, they're just mean. And this is one of the things where, quite frankly, we need to take a look at, as people on the left, we need to take a look and say, like, hey, some of these people, they're affected by bad shit. And so their politics may just not be as progressive as we want them to be. That don't make them evil. And no, I'm not gonna go down the whole, well, they're really racism. Like, no, there's fucking real racism in the fucking world. Like, no, don't think that that's what I'm going. But I will say this: a lot of people don't give enough people grace to understand that they're hurting and they may need help. A lot of the lefties don't actually do that. They just think, oh, they're just evil, and they essentialize it. It's the same discourse that you actually see with people that get upset with men. Oh, men can actually be better. It's just like, but you're essentializing them. The same shit on the left that you're getting mad at other people for doing. Stop that shit. Like, really stop that shit. And it's just like, we need to be fucking better with this. We definitely need to be better with this. I don't think I put it out on my Discord channel, the last piece of art that I worked on. I kind of slowed down on my art, which I really shouldn't. And a lot of the reasons why I slow down, because I work with markers, and markers have a tendency to, use material. And so what you see me doing with a lot of the marker stuff is just, I run out of material, so I slow down on the marker stuff. And of course, I actually have color pencils. I probably should actually start working with those too. But markers are my thing where I can like just work on, and it's ease of use, and it actually allows me to motherfucking it allows me to do things like blend. So yeah, I'm trying to get the color, and because I'm doing this on traditional with markers, there are certain things that I have to actually do that usually, if you can do with digital, most people do with digital. But I don't know. Maybe if somebody actually, goes to support my Amazon list where they can actually help support the digital that I have. That is something where I can actually buy a digital tablet. But I just do traditional. And with me doing traditional, it is one of those things where it's just like, you learned a fucking skill. And to quote my third favorite Uchiha, um, expert with a rock can beat a novice with a knife. And yes, I said my third favorite Uchiha. Somebody actually got on me the other day in the chat section where they said that I thought that Sasuke was a bad character. And that's a misconception for every time I say this about Sasuke. Sasuke is not a bad character. Sasuke is a socially awkward character with PTSD. Sasuke himself is a fucking dweeb and a fucking he doesn't know how to relate to people. But he's smart enough to shut the fuck up. And that gives him like 20 points. He's like socially awkward. He's so socially awkward that he's used to talking to animals more than he's talking to people. And yeah, no, he the whole thing about him talking to his summon snake more than, you know, some of the people in his life, he's just socially awkward. And you can see it with everything that he does. He's just socially awkward. You put him in a situation where he has to talk to more than 2 people at a time, and oh my god, that motherfucker's socially awkward. Small talk, that motherfucker. Small talk. What? Small talk. You don't do small talk. And it's just funny because like somebody actually got at me because I actually said that, you know, Sasuke is socially awkward, which he is. Anyway, yes, I'm stopping to take pictures every once in a while. Just as a progress, and if I mess up, I know where I messed up at. What was it? Last weekend I was supposed to go to something called Pancake and Booze, and I didn't get a chance to go to it. Um, Simply put, I couldn't get the day off of work to go set up, so I didn't get a chance to. Basically, by the time I would have gotten off of work to set up and got down there, it would have been too late. And so I couldn't exactly go, and I was disappointed with that, but I'm looking to try to do more in-person things. I registered for something called Comictropolis, which it's it's for it's out in a suburb of Chicago called Joliet, where or is that Joliet, or it's out there. And basically what it allows you to it's a library show. One of the things that I really 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 enjoy is doing library shows. You get to sit and talk to people. I actually go out to um when I go out to conventions or just meeting greets of people where they're, you know, looking at different artists. You get to meet different artists, talk to different artists, and yeah, this is one of those things where hopefully um this year we can get more visits to those types of places and events. But you get some like cool artists you can actually just get to know and hang out with. Again, we're just working on doing a little marketing. Ah, markering. All right. I actually did complete a picture for a friend recently. She fucking loved it. So I will say this, and I'm not gonna be ashamed of this. Um, Whenever somebody supports your work, you actually go out of your way to make sure that you you show appreciation to them. Not that you want to be audience capture, but when somebody personally goes out their way to actually help you with supporting your work, you do a lot of shit for them. So recently, um here, do I have it? Let's go to photos. Google. I'm gonna actually show you guys this. That's not the best one. Here, this is the best one. This is the best picture of it. We're actually gonna go to this. Recently, I actually completed this work for a friend of mine. And I forgot what I called it. I think it was Sass with all that ass. It was something like that. But yeah. Yeah, that was the thing that I did. So, oh, and so I do take commissions, but let's go ahead and take another picture. All right. So when I originally did this picture, it was like purple and gold. Um, I don't want to do the purple and gold, but I also don't want to just stick to like um I don't want to do the Iron Man colors. Um I'm still thinking. One thing that I know I want to actually go ahead and do is I think I need the lightest color because I'm actually going to go in here and wait, what fucking color is this? That's extremely light. All right, let's do this one. That's extremely light. And I actually got to get my fine liners. The fuck did I just do with them? Now, if you know anything about the style that I try to do, I try to like stop not use as many hard black lines as I could. It sometimes breaks the flow for me, but sometimes it's unavoidable. So I'm still trying to figure out the color that I want to actually put on the outside kind of. So and we're gonna be getting into some videos in a second. I'm just taking the time to actually just goddamn enjoy myself and enjoy like not having a rush. I am here for a long time today. It may not be a good time, but it's gonna be a long time. Fuck. I can't even get that out of my mouth. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be here for a long time because I actually want to finish this. And what I'm doing right now, especially with the fingers and the articulation joints, is if you take a look at what's going on, it's actually a center star because it's a power blast. This is going to actually be the lightest color. The lightest color that I'm actually going to do. I'm actually going to do a darker color on the inside. I just need to make sure that I lay down my fucking base coat. So with laying down my base coat, we can actually go from there. Still trying to figure out what color I want to actually put the main body and shit like that, but we'll get to that in a moment. One of the things that I've been trying to work on is trying to build up my website. Like right now, I am streaming to my crimson.winksite.com. So if you ever want to just like get like a note newsletter, you probably want to just get to that site. Um, but that's where I'm streaming live at, and of course on YouTube.com. All right. There we go. I actually took this hand that I actually did. So one of the things that I do when I work on art is I try to push myself on different shapes and things that I may not be the best at. And because of my completionist as wannabe attitude, I have to complete it. I originally did this based on, ironically, Goku Black hand blast, and of course, I wanted to actually make it my own with using a different type of character in the background, obviously. So yeah, this is something that I'm working on and just trying to, I don't know, just I take it as I'm trying to practice with um I take it that I'm trying to practice with traditional stuff, so I can take that and move it to more non-traditional art tools. And if you know what you guys know what I mean, if you actually, it's like working with, obviously it's going to be a learning curve if I move to digital, but it's like working with tools that are less forgiving in order to work on tools that are in order to transition to tools that are more forgiving. Yes, that's the thing. So give the art a little just just a little bit more character. So you know what's actually quite fucking hilarious to me? So you'll get people where I make videos about somebody's, you know, demigod hero. And you know the first thing that they actually say, your art looks childish. And I'm like, damn, thank you for, you know, you and my motherfucking art. What actually gets me is that I know all of my art is just me practicing and getting better. Now, I have an ego. I do. I know I have an ego. But I never actually take my ego to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm the best at things. No, I'm getting better. And what gets me is that a lot of people take me actually wanting better out of other people as me saying that I'm the best. And that's never my intention. God damn it, what color I want to do? What colors would actually look cool? I don't want to do blue because I have enough blue in this piece already. I do want to actually do this though. Don't want to do blue. Red seems a little gauche and green. Green seems out of place. And I think that's where I was with when I originally did the first picture. And it's just like purple was the only thing that I just had a lot of. That's the reason why I actually did it originally in purple, because I had a lot of purple. I had so much purple from all the marker sets that I had, because I had Lotus Blue, Rose Red, God damn. I had even Daisy. Daisy was red and pink, and I want to do kind of yellow, but I kind of don't want to do yellow because it's too Iron Man. You know what I mean? I don't know. Shit. Huh. Anyway, guys. Let's get into, while I'm thinking about that, let's get into some videos while we at it. What do we have? Let's see. What amazes me, and I'm gonna say this, I have done so much shit with me doing videos and all that other good shit, and actually learning how to use the mouse with my left hand. Even though I'm right-handed, I've learned how to use the mouse with my left hand almost as good as my right hand. And that is, oh man, hold on. All right, let's get into some videos. I kind of try to dissect some colors of what I want to do. Here, let's go. So we're here doing some art, and because it's a video segment, I'm gonna have to ask you to like and subscribe, follow, all that other good stuff. The Patreon's down in the description, and the Discord server is down in the description. And early in the stream, I was talking about how I was watching the JonTron and Destiny debate, and well, here we're gonna actually go to a recent video, and we're gonna actually talk about some things. It's gonna be a little heavy. That's why I started doing art, of course. When has Crimson 60620 been any way to shy away from heavy topics? But let's actually get to it. This is a video that Destiny recently did, a clip that he really recently did with Kidology. And I've actually watched some of Kidology stuff. I wanted to take the time to go over the stupid ass comments that you actually saw from, like, you know, FD Signifier in the gang, where he was just shitting on her, and basically you can tell there was some issues that was going on there, where, let's just say it, because he thought black women, they should share their ideas, and he's kind of like really pushing that shit, or not really criticizing certain people because they already get enough criticism, which is stupid. But yeah, let's go over this video, and then we can have a conversation about exactly what's going on, and we can go from there. And of course, I'm gonna be stopping it to react to it. So let's go. Okay, that was stupid. Let's go.
I'm getting black. You're blackpilling me right now. Oh my goodness. Yes, you. Yeah, of course. Do you not realize that? You just asked a stranger, would you have sex with me? What percentage of men walking up and down the street, if you asked them that question, do you think would say yes? One of us is living in reality.
Okay, I forgot he talks quickly. Oh God, I can't really do that on this video with him. And as somebody who talks quickly, and I actually have to slow myself down a lot for my job, yeah, he talks quickly. But let's go. Let's go. No.
The other one is on the moon right now. I'm not sure.
I'm not on the moon.
Somebody said Destiny confront her about calling herself a femcel. You call yourself a femcel?
A femcel? No, not at all.
I
think we know these. Oh, I think this has to do. No, I'm not a femcel, but oh yes, about being involuntarily celibate. Basically, is that what they mean?
That might be one definition.
Now, I've watched Kidology stuff, and do I get femcel vibes? Because there is a whole different thing with femcels and women being involuntary celibate. I don't get femcel vibes, but she does fall into some tropes. But let's go.
Oh yes. Well, I've made a few videos about being involuntarily celibate, and that's, again, this isn't as big as it was made out to be. I was basically
Wait, hold
trying
on.
to
Do you
just
claim
make a
that?
point.
Do you claim that you're an incel?
So here's the thing with this, and I want to make sure that I'm like super clear with this. This is the reason why I kind of actually wanted to actually do the video. I didn't see the full thing, but I wanted to do the video because it's pretty interesting the way this conversation goes. And here, let's get on with it.
But I'm involuntarily celibate.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't want to be celibate.
Wait,
but
why
I
can't?
am.
But you could. Okay, finish what you were gonna say. Sorry.
The point I was trying to make, in so many words, was that I think that it's important for. Please stop.
I'm sorry. I'm just. It's just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
So this is falling into some, admittedly, some incel talking points, and I'll tell you why. Just because a woman is attractive, like we're not gonna say she isn't attractive, just because it's perceived that a woman can get sex easier doesn't mean it's always true. But you're going to be hearing that they're going to be talking about two separate conversations. But yeah, let's go.
So I want to hear you. I'm just curious if you can build the bridge out to make that make sense.
Because you have a particular definition of being an incel.
Yeah,
Whereas I
well,
think that there's a lot
celibacy
more that
means
we
not
have in
having
common.
sex, and involuntary means that even if you wanted to have sex, you wouldn't be able to, which doesn't make sense for like 95% of women on the planet. So I'm
Incel talking point. This is definitely an incel talking point. And I would actually disagree. Because here's the thing. Just because you have the ability to screw anything doesn't mean that it will be fulfilling. Doesn't mean that it'll be worth it. And definitely doesn't mean that it will be it'll be good. But you'll see what I mean. Let's go.
just curious how. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I do disagree with that.
Okay.
Especially in this day and age, I do disagree with that. I think that I was trying to make the argument that, you know, incels actually have a lot more in common with normal people than they think. That in terms of this idea that incels are not able to get laid because they're just so undesirable and women are so picky and everything is not the case. Otherwise,
This is actually true. If you're describing yourself as an incel, you've already lost the motherfucking point. There is a time in everybody's life when they are involuntary celibate. It doesn't mean that they're ugly. It doesn't mean that they're lost genetically. It does kind of mean that they may have few options. It kind of may be that they have mental health issues or personality issues that they need to address. But ugliness is not a thing. I have had gray hair since I was fucking 14. I still have gray hair now. And I still am able to interact with women. So much to a point where I can choose if I want to be intimate with them or not. That is a thing. It is nothing about the way you look that will stop you from actually being able to have a relationship. I'm sorry. There are people who have one or two limbs, not missing one or two limbs, that are still able to live a life with relationships. Nothing stops you from that. And guys, if you're an incel watching this, I want to tell you this. What is the problem in a lot of cases is an attitude about it. That's it. And I'm not saying that, oh, you have to be feminist. Like, no. Just be the person you would want to be around. But let's continue.
you know, incels and femcels would have like hooked up by now. But instead, any woman who even tries to like put a toe into an incel forum is just kicked out. So I was trying to make that point more so that, you know, if we just talk to each other, like we get a lot further than where we're getting now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for that, but I still think that for women, if all you're looking for is sex, basically any woman in any first world country can download Tinder and find a guy in like 45 minutes.
Yes, but this is such a reductive idea about what sex is, and this is the problem, because incels think that if they have sex with a woman, that's going to solve all their problems. You know, sex is actually.
So again, this is the whole thing about, oh, you can get intercourse whenever you want it. A lot of people don't want to just intercourse; they want intimacy, and that's the thing. And if the rumors are true, Destiny fucks as much as he wants to, all that other good shit. But a lot of people aren't looking for intercourse; they're looking for intimacy. A lot of incels, they don't want intercourse; they want intimacy. And this is the problem where you just boil down sex to just penetration. It's not. You know, intercourse is penetration. But sex is a whole motherfucking exercise. And until people get that, then you're gonna have issues. By the way, if you haven't done so, like the stream.
Not just this idea of just putting your penis into a vagina and then somehow your world is just restored. Like, it's a lot of communication, talking, understanding the body and the physicality of the specific individual.
Yeah,
it's
I don't disagree.
process.
I don't disagree with any of that. But you'd be a vol-cel. You're voluntarily celibate, right? Because if you wanted to.
Now, that is a good point. Yes, she is technically a voluntary celibate person, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you are somebody that needs a emotional connection, if you are somebody who needs a intellectual connection and you don't get it, that is still it. It's still that you can't find that connection. So in that case, is involuntary. But if you want to boil sex down to just intercourse, she's a vol cell. But that's fine. I personally, I can't have a physical relationship with somebody that I can't have a conversation with. I know people who are in the lifestyle who can't have a physical relationship with somebody who is not, who they can't have a conversation with. That is a thing that happens, and that's not a bad thing that happens. It's just how some human beings work. And now to take a picture. But let's go.
To just bang somebody, it would be easy to do that. But you don't.
No,
but you're
I want to
voluntarily
have sex with somebody, but I want to have actual sex with somebody, not this hypothetical.
Yeah, so you're looking
of
for
what sex is.
a good, like a healthy relationship, and then for some sort of action to occur within like the confines of like a.
No. That's different. It doesn't have to be a healthy relationship, but it does have to be somebody who just doesn't want to use another person as a human sex toy. Well, they can use you as a human sex toy with permission and safe words and blindfolds and ticklers and paddles. I'm sorry, I'm going off in a different direction. But no. It's not about I need a relationship. Intimacy doesn't require a relationship. A relationship in far as I love you, you love me, we're a monogamous family. Like, no, it could just be a connection. And this is the like some of the things that a lot of incels miss. Sometimes, maybe you don't want to treat the woman like a cum dumpster. Maybe you want to treat her as a gaming bro that has a vagina that you like to have sex with, or anime pal that you can talk to and put your penis in their mouth. Like, sometimes that's what they want. Sometimes they just want the acceptance and somebody to touch the penis. And I understand that. But don't get this twisted. If you're somebody who claims to be an incel and you think you just want somebody to touch your penis, no, that's not what's going on. What a lot of it is, and I see the incel tears posts in the forums, a lot of it is, I'm mad somebody's a couple. Not that they're openly having sex in front of me. No, that somebody likes them for who they are. And that is a problem with boiling it down to, I just need to stick a penis in a vagina. When some of these guys, they don't even want that. They're not exactly straight. But let's go.
A loving, romantic, healthy relationship, I imagine, right?
No, I don't even need that. I think I just want the sex to be good. I want it to be, a meaningful experience. I want it to be profound.
Well, yeah, so, like, within, like, the confines of, like, a loving, romantic, healthy relationship, no?
No. Why can't you understand that?
It ends up being like that. Yeah.
Well,
sure.
okay, here's what I don't understand. Because
I need, like, a...
Sure, but, like, you could download Tinder, and you could have, like, 1,000 guys in your DMs tonight, right? You could probably find, like, good sex. If you're looking for good sex with one of them, I would imagine, right?
Good sex. I don't think so. No. I don't think good sex. I think just based on my particular situation, like I haven't had sex in years. My last sexual experience was incredibly traumatic and just has stunted me as a human being. I'd have to get to know the person, like actually know them, actually develop some kind of connection before getting to that point.
And see, this is what I mean. This is literally just talking about either demisexual or sapiosexual. It doesn't even mean that you need to be in love. It's like, yeah, we can talk about something other than where to put the penis in what hole. That's a thing that happens. And some of us actually need that. Sometimes, you have conversations like, hey, did you see this movie? Did you like this movie? Can I tie you up? Why do I keep mentioning tie up? Anyway. sometimes people need that. That doesn't make it, oh, we need to be together and love each other for the rest of our lives. But let's go.
Most definitely. And Tinder's not for that. And
it can be.
Yeah. I'm also not. Yeah.
You can chat. You can have conversations with people on Tinder. You can find like a lot of relationships and stuff even start on Tinder and everything. No.
Not a real conversation.
And they're talking, and Destiny knows what he's doing. Like don't get it twisted. Destiny knows what he's doing. He's just being a dick. He's trying to break her, and he is just being a dick. Like no. Destiny knows what he's doing. He's just being a dick, and he's feeding the audience. Like, don't get this twisted. He has the Sneeko audience and the people that just graduated from Sneeko's audience. He has all these other motherfuckers, but he's just being a dick. He knows what he's doing. But let's go.
And I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
That's why he's laughing.
I feel
I'm
like
a Luddite. Maybe it's just because I just came to the social media smartphone game a bit late. But in terms of the conversations that I've had on dating apps, it's really it's a market. That is what it is, and it's not something that I think sex should be in. Hence my sort of opinions on pornography. I think that sort of creating a market.
Wait, what's wrong with porn? It's nothing wrong with porn. I'm sorry, porn is a fucking art. Especially the cheesy ass act. Oh my god, okay. And maybe it's a porn that I actually consume. Alright, so I will say this. The porn that I consume is not the, oh, we just made a porn in the bathroom and I'm just pounding her. Like, no, like, fuck. I love the fucking awkward ass acting. Like, I was a fan of the Bang Bros in the early aughts. Like, yeah. Like, oh, do you want to come ride in our bus? And yeah, we're gonna pay you. Like, I love that cheesy ass shit. And that's me. I love that shit. But I knew it was acting. But this whole thing about, like, just indiscriminate, like, oh yeah, we filmed ourselves. Like, no, that's, or even the we're already in the bed fucking, but it's awkward couple fucking. Like, that's the porn is funny to me. Like, it's just like, because I've actually had the sex like more than once. I don't like these big production of sweeping Playboy. Oh, first he came in with the roses and then this happened. Like, no. Either have the awkward shit or have the fucking playing around shit. Or even have the overacting. So there's nothing wrong with porn as long as you know that's not real life, and the ones that are real life are awkward as shit. But let's continue.
Around our intimate relationships and our private lives is what really undermines just everything in the long run. And so I don't think starting off from that foundation for the majority of people.
You know what? And this is what actually doesn't get me. This is what I actually don't get about people that have an issue with porn. They never have an issue with romantic movies. Hell, they never have an issue with just non-fiction movies. Porn is fiction. I don't get the whole thing. And I'm not saying that everybody should watch porn. Obviously, there's a time and a place for it and a maturity level. But they are never ones to say, like, we shouldn't tell fables. We shouldn't tell myths. We should learn from them. But then they say porn is bad. It's a fuck. Like, that's why they're called porn actors. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong motherfucking way. But let's continue.
People is a good thing. I don't think it's good for us to have so much access to so much potential choice. I think at the end of the day, it's just a false perception of having a lot of people and a lot of potential. It's like having 20 brands of the same ketchup.
So I hate this idea of choice means bad. Choice means bad. No, just learn to choose. And this is for somebody who I recently got stun locked. All right, so story time. Because I've been down a vehicle, I've been doing Grubhub, and I literally got stun locked for about 30 minutes trying to decide what I wanted to eat. Part of it was price. Broke motherfucker here. By the way, did you know I have a Patreon? All right, no. But I recently got stun locked. And quite literally, whatever expectations that you have, go in with your expectations, but not with unlimited expectations. Okay, what do I mean by that? When I go into a dating app, I know what I want to fucking choose. I know the age range I want to choose. I know the buzzwords to look for. I know, like, say, I love Jesus and I put God first. A lot of times, they're not gonna like the fact that I'm atheist. What else? What is it? Some other shit like I'm a boss. Like, and I'm not for somebody who literally feels that they have to announce that they're a boss or alpha. Like, if you have to tell people something, you generally are not one. Like, shit like that, I know what to look for. And to me, the one requirement is at least C cups. Okay. Yes, that part of the physical appearance fucking matters to me. But can you blame me? Titties. Everybody likes titties. Okay, let's go. But dating apps are not the problem. It's where people think, oh, I have to do this, put this out there. Oh, you don't respond to me. Okay, whatever. Didn't like me. Okay, let's go. But a lot of people don't have that idea. But let's go. Let's go.
Up. It's like, what do you choose? It just becomes more overwhelming than anything else. And yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like when I look at things like Tinder or dating apps, like, aren't these just formalizing markets that have kind of existed historically already? So, like, for instance, like, when you go to, like, school or when you go to, like, work, like, everybody's kind of, like, talking here and fucking here, and there's kind of, like, this is, like, the cool Chad guy, and this is, like, the hot Stacy person, and this is the shy, like, don't these kind of things, like, exist kind of?
Yeah, and this is actually true. Those things did exist, and is for people who say that they didn't, I don't know how you can actually square that circle, because those things did exist. And as much as I don't look it, I actually had a few girlfriends in high school, you know, even though I was like turning gray at motherfucking 14. It was funny because it's just opening up the pool. And I get it, a lot of people can't handle that, don't like, and I'm not saying they can't handle it, they don't like rejection, so they run away from it as much as they can. And with them running away from it, they miss out on some key things that may actually fortify them for later on things in life. But yeah, no, it's always been there. And when you magnify that, some people, they don't know how to see the magnification. And not to say I'm a callous motherfucker, but the jobs that I've had, I've had to learn how to deal with taking a no, and it just translated to dating life. So I know it's difficult. I've done 20 years of customer service work, and some of it was sales. So I've had to take no's and no's and no's. And yeah, no, you kind of learn how to deal with it, but a lot of people don't have my experience with that. But let's go.
Naturally anyway. I mean, like, do you think that Tinder makes it that much more meaningfully different, or?
Oh yes, definitely. Because this isn't just your school. This is every single school within your region, with even more people, even more possibility. And this is also people's profiles. You're effectively determining if you want to have sex with somebody's photograph and a very short bio. It's basically somebody trying to sell a product to you. It's not a real person. It's in no way conducive to, I think, creating the healthy relationships that people need, which are very specific to individuals, and I think very idiosyncratic in that way. You sort of can't replicate them in the way that online dating tries to, in presenting sort of women as X, Y, and Z and men as X, Y, and Z. And ultimately, I think we can just see this just in that typical statistic of what's it that all the Red Pill people quote about.
I know that statistic, and it's just like it's coming from a biased source. Like that's what I don't get about that statistic. It's coming from a source that just really just seems like it like it's one statistic. It's like the 1350 statistic. It's taken completely out of context. It's completely just, they don't talk about why it's like that. They just say this is a stat, facts and logic, reason, and it's just like, it's so fucking stupid. Because if you knew what it was about, then you wouldn't use that fucking study. But, you know, men lie, women lie. Statistics don't lie, but people can build a lie around a narrative of statistics. But let's continue.
80% of people on dating apps are men, and that women are also only interested in only 20% of the 80% of men.
Well, I mean, that's on dating apps, it's like 5-to-1 men to women. So that puts you in a good position. You're ready to rock. You got the pick
I don't
of the
think
litter.
so, actually. I think it's what I said about this sort of having so much choice, unrealistic choice. Nowhere in my real life would I have that kind of choice. Whereas on social media or on
Dating apps are your real life. You can meet those people on dating apps. This is what I mean. Like, I understand both of the sides of the argument, but they're both wrong, but they're both right, and it's just so fucking irritating. Anyway, guys, if you haven't done so, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you have a question to ask me, you want to address it, come on, let's go. This is a thing. I am live. You can talk. It's okay. But let's go.
dating apps. I would.
I think you
ultimately,
have the
I'm going to
choice.
be nitpicky.
I think you have
I'm
the
gonna be
choice in real
horrible.
life too, though. No?
I'm going to be dehumanizing of the men, which is not good.
Well, like, hold on.
I
You
really
said you
don't
worked.
think it's good.
You said you worked in a supermarket before, right?
Yeah.
You probably could have had sex with any of your coworkers if you asked them to. I would imagine.
Me.
No. Do not fuck people you work with unless you were previously, before you started working there, in a relationship with them. Do not fuck where you work. That causes all types of shit. No, do not. No. Destiny, you're showing your privilege here, my friend. That's not how that works, dog. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this shit works. But let's go.
Oh man, I'm getting black. You're blackpilling me right now. Oh my goodness. Yes, you. Yeah, of course. Do you not realize that?
No, I couldn't. I mean,
I don't mean. Hold on. Wait. I'm sorry. I don't mean like you would be necessarily interested in it, like you would have the romantic connection. But if you propositioned any of your coworkers for sex, like 99% of them would say yes. Okay. Wow. We live in. One of us is living in reality, and the other one is.
No, you have two different fucking perspectives. You dumb fuck. And this is the problem with a lot of these motherfuckers. They are so concerned about their perspective. And again, they're having two different conversations. She's talking about demisexual and sapiosexual shit, and Destiny's just talking about intercourse. There is a thing. There are guys, incels, femcels. It is okay to have motherfucking standards. Standards are a thing. It's not a bad part. It's not a bad thing. It is okay to have standards. Standards actually help you. Oh my God. if that is the case, then women will be okay with having Bob. And if you don't know what Bob is, it's a battery operated boyfriend. But that's not what she's looking for, you dumb fuck. And you know it. God damn. If it's just about orgasm, women will be okay with Bob and guys will be okay with a fucking fleshlight. And some people are, don't get me wrong, some people are. But what it is that you really want is the intimacy. And I'm not even talking about, oh, we in love. Just somebody you can have pillow talk with afterwards. God damn. Well, let's continue.
Just on the moon right now. I'm not sure.
I'm not on the moon.
I feel pretty grounded on planet Earth right now. Fuck.
So do I, actually.
If I was in London, we should do... Hold on, wait. I'm just curious. Or, no, go. Say your thing. Don't let me cut you off. Go ahead. Oh, okay, hold on. Well, I'm not going to talk. If you were on the street...
I don't even know how to respond to this,
I'm just curious.
He's about to say something incredibly stupid. He is about to say something that's incredibly stupid. Either he's going to put on some kind of experiment where he's going to say, like, would you want to sleep with this woman? And totally missing the point of what she's saying. Or, let's go.
If you're on the street and you're standing there and you're polling guys and you're like, and you just ask a stranger, would you have sex with me? What percentage of men walking up and down the street, if you ask them that question, what percentage of them do you think would say yes?
Well, I do need to consider things like race in my situation.
Wait, no. I mean, not for you willing to fuck them, but just them if you just ask a stranger on the street. Men are walking by of all creeds, all races, all religions.
I'm a little bit concerned about where this one is going, but let's see where this goes. Let's go.
Whatever. And you ask them like, hey, just curious, if I said like, do you want to go get a hotel room and bang, would you be interested? What percentage, roughly speaking, of men do you think would say yes? I'm just curious, in your mind. I have a number in my mind. I'm curious what you think that number would be.
40%.
Jesus.
That's actually low. I would say 60. Just based on standards, I would say 60. I think that people who label themselves, and I've watched Kadology's video, and I know that she has some issues where she has, I wouldn't say self-esteem, self-image issues, where she does believe that because she has to wear makeup or things like that, she's less desirable. But this also goes to show that women don't always believe that there's a standard of beauty. Be it she's a woman of color or anything like that, it doesn't matter. Like, women actually don't think that they're, oh, I'm high and mighty, that I can get any man. That's not a statement that comes out of a lot of women's mouth. Well, comes out of a lot of women's mouth. You know what I mean. But let's go.
Wow. Okay. In my head, that number is closer
I think
to
I have more faith in men than you do.
Well, that number is actually like
true.
90 to 95%. 40%.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. Interesting.
Don't you think that men can be picky? I think men are very picky.
Absolutely not. Even the
bullshit. Like, yes, there are men that are picky. Look at the incel community. Look at the incel community. Yes, there are men who are picky. And again, Destiny's doing this to fuck with her. That's the reason why he's doing this, because he's fucking with her. But let's go.
The most giga-chatted guy that you've ever seen has fucked women that he's too embarrassed to tell his friends about. Like, everybody. Yeah, when it comes to sexual selection for men, go talk to all the red pillars or any of the self-proclaimed dating, whatever. Yeah, like men's standards for sex are way different than their standards for dating. I think that for women, they tend to align a bit more closely. I think the question that I ask women is like, of the last like 5 men you fucked, how many of them would you be willing to date? I feel like most women would say like probably 3 to 5. But if you were to ask men of the last 10 women you fucked, how many would you be willing to date? Their number would be like 1 to 3.
Okay. I can see defeat. I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. I think
That's not a good thing, though. That is not a good thing. That is not something that we should be like, oh no, that's cool, that's great. No, no, that's not a good thing. That is not. I'm sorry to say, just say like I'm just fucking people that I wouldn't have a conversation with. And yeah, okay, I know sapiosexual here. I know that's who I am, but that's not a good thing to me. That you're just fucking somebody just to fuck them. But all right, all right. Now here, I will say this: bedroom performance can actually lower that number. I'm not gonna lie, it can lower that number. You like, oh, you vibe, and then you kind of get into it, and you're like, we didn't click sexually, but that should also work for women too. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's go.
I personally have a very different perspective of sex. I think for me, sex is far more profound an experience and an encounter. Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah,
is fair,
okay,
which is
okay,
fine. There's nothing wrong
okay,
with it. That's well, and even
okay.
if I'm being sexist, that's like the woman answer, which is fine. That's the
No, no, that's not. Some people are demisexual, dude. There are people that are demisexual. There are people that are not. But she's just describing that she's just a demisexual. That's it. That, and for those of you guys who don't know what demisexual is somebody who um has to have a emotional connection. It doesn't mean love. It doesn't mean that, oh, I need to love you for the no. It just means that you need to have some sort of emotional connection. You can be sapiosexual, which also means that you have to have an intellectual. It's the people that intellectual conversations turn them on and shit like that. But she's just describing that she's a demisexual. That's it. That's all she's describing. But yeah, let's go.
the answer that I think a lot of women
Yeah.
would give is like because, but the reason why I think, God, fuck, I'm like being red pill right now. The reason why women are more selective though is because I think men are the ones that tend to chase the sexual experience more, and women are the ones that tend to be a little bit more guarded about it because they can get it whenever they want, right? Like I think most women, like if you wanted, this is why when you say incel, it's kind of a weird thing because if you wanted to have sex tonight, you could hop on any dating app and you could fuck like 20 dudes tonight, and you could get like free dinners and fucking $20 from everybody. Like you get gifts while doing it. It would be that easy.
Yeah.
But for guys, it's not the case.
And
It would be challenging.
And he's just being he said it, he's being red pill. This is the craziest shit. Like, and he's perpetuating this belief. Like, and even somebody as progressive as I am, one of those things just doesn't make sense. One of the things that I had to get over with dating is that there are women who want to take care of you, and I don't mean like they want to cook for you, clean for you. Like, no, they want to provide you gifts. They want to treat you as, hey, you do this for me, you treat me this way. Let me treat you pretty good. But let's let this finish out. Let's go.
Even for like really chatted out dudes, if you're just hopping on a dating app, you'd still have to put in a bit of work to find that experience. But yeah.
Yeah, so let's just do this. But yeah, with that happening, this I had to actually go over it, you guys. Like, you had like, it was weird to say the least that this shit was happening. But I guess it's this whole thing about a sexual marketplace. Did it exist before dating apps? Yeah, of course it did. Did it exist where it was such a limited pool and most people just took what they could get? Yeah. But I want to make sure that a lot of people have more standards in what this whole survival thing for. We have eliminated the hunter gathering type of aspect of our nature, and now we are supplied in most nations with the idea of agriculture and somewhat adequate supply of food or trash food. So we don't have to fall back to the hunter gatherer ways of our early ancestors for the most part. And kind of like dating has actually evolved that way. Yes, we have fucking dating apps, and yes, we have a glut of choices. But that just means that both men and women can be more selective. That's the thing. Both men and women can be more selective of what they have. And God, just have standards and admit that you want somebody to touch your private parts, but also you can have an intimate relationship without wanting love. That's a thing that happens. But anyway, guys, as I said before, like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna finish working on this artwork, and yeah, we're gonna cut this video segment here. Oh man. I am really trying not to do we just do a one stream a week type thing. But what's happened in a lot of cases, and I'll let you guys know this, because I work I work in a call center. It's hard for me to look at a screen more than the 8 hours a day that I already do. And to be very honest with you guys, a lot of times right after work, I fall the fuck to sleep. Oh God. Yeah, this actually is coming out really, really well. Now I just gotta realize I gotta figure out another color to go. Oh God, and I'm trying to stay the fuck away from blue. I'm definitely trying to stay the fuck away from blue. So here, I actually downloaded a few things. PlayStation Network had PlayStation had a state of play the other day, and I actually downloaded their a few games that I saw from the demo. So Wukong Dark Dynasty. That game to me, like, so I one of my biggest things, one of the things that I decide what a game I want to play is the gameplay loop. If the gameplay loop is just not good to me, or the controls feel floaty, like, I think that's one of the biggest things with a lot of games that I've actually played. If the controls feel floaty or disconnected, I hate the game. Like, okay, so I know the big discourse was around Forspoken, and that game just seems so fucking floaty to me. There was a game that came out a few years ago called Malicious, and it had the same type of action style gameplay loop, but oh my God, Forspoken, and I couldn't even get into like the gameplay. Like, the chick talking all kind of crazy shit, it didn't fucking bother me. I don't care. But it's just like a floaty gameplay. and the Sun Wukong gameplay. Oh God, it seems like they were trying to be Dynasty Warriors Dark Souls, and it's just like I can't do it, man. Oh God! But I did play R-Type Command 2, which was actually a side scroller, which is actually just taking it back to old arcade days. That was actually fun. I want to see them bring back R-Type Command, which was a strategy game that they had, but I know they're not gonna bring it back. But that was actually fun ass game. Um, shit. I had to buy a new controller. I recently just bought a new controller. I have it being shipped with Amazon. As a matter of fact, here. Close that. My orders. I need to get a new microphone stand because I need to grab one. Recently, oh my god. Okay, so if you haven't seen the video, like I actually have a home gym now. I've had it for about a year, and it's like my strength has improved and shit like that. I actually got new attachments for it about probably like 5 days ago, and all the attachments are just making my workout feel so much fucking better. But yeah, I'm waiting for my controller to come back in, and just trying to see where. So it was shipped. Yeah. By the way, guys, I don't know if here, since I'm actually working on my art. Don't forget, you can actually check out a lot of the art that I have that I put out there by going to this web page. I have a few that you can actually buy the originals. Of course, if you want to talk to me about purchasing prints, you can always email me and things of that nature. But here. Where's my music? There we go. You can see like just the different items that I have. So just a few things. My art that I have that I'm actually putting out for sale. I'm actually falling in love more and more with this one. I'm looking at it and I'm just looking at the just the color contrast, the artwork to it. It's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, like I'm like this one turned out a lot better than what I thought it would. Of course, we have the Kurama. I recently redid this directly for like somebody. Have a few. Here we have Daisy. Kind of low key. This was actually going to be originally a Scarlet Witch thing, but I flipped like a few things and turned it into one of the Guardians. So yeah, that was the thing. Anyway, yeah, I know I need to actually start pushing more of my art out there. Oh man. Still trying to figure out what color I want to make this. Hand blaster. Don't even know what I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight. Oh my god. I want some taco. I want some nacho dip. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finally fix that nacho dip. Basically, make ground beef. Oh, I forgot to get the taco seasoning. Fuck. That's what I forgot. Taco seasoning. Of course. Of course. And I don't feel like riding up to the store. God, so that's one thing with not having a vehicle has been doing. I've been doing is a lot more bike riding. But it's fucking difficult. It's difficult as hell to ride a bike in the fucking cold. And I'm somebody who's like who do like 6 and 7 mile rides just on a normal basis. But when you're talking about cold weather, oh, it's fucking difficult to ride in the cold. You guys have no idea. Shout out to the people who have delivery jobs that ride in the motherfucking cold. That shit is difficult. Anyway. Still trying to figure out a color. Now, I don't know if I've actually showed you guys this. Here, let's see if I can actually just pull it up. So you can know like where I'm coming from and why I'm trying to redo this. This was originally the picture. And as you can see, there were some differences in it. This is the original picture itself. This were some differences in it, where I did have some like gleaming and shit like that. But yeah, I kind of not what I'm going for. Not what I'm going for. And as you can see, like some of the fingers are a little bit wonky, but yeah, like no, I want to go for something a little bit different. So like I do like certain things of it, like the whole switch right here. But yeah, some of this shit was just wonky as hell. But let's go. Let's go. Shall we get to another video? Let's get to another video. What else do we want to do? Oh, let's talk about this.
Recently.
Oh, no. Stop. All right. Let's actually start recording. Let's make this a segment. You know what's funny? I'm saying let's make this a segment because I'm actually pressing the record button so I can actually be recording it and making sure that I know what's the segment gonna be. And yeah, I'm keeping this part in because I'm saying this because if you want to actually help it where a lot of the streams go a little bit more perfectly when I don't have to put like this, this is a segment, let's stop this, cut it, shit like that. I'm asking you to actually help me out with being able to support my stream. We're trying to actually get 1,000 subscribers by June 1st. Let's get this channel monetized and let's get this channel where we can actually help support, like, making sure that I can get my message out. I can devote more time to making sure you guys are able to watch more. But anyway, let's go. So there was a recent debate on there's a recent and continuing debate about left-wing outreach towards men. And you get a lot of people who just you get a lot of people who, let's just be honest, a lot of people on the left, their only reason for being on the left is the fact that they're outcasts, and not that their political beliefs are actually good or right or they've investigated. And I remember I keep having this conversation with a conservative friend of mine that the reason why they're on the left because some part of their identity makes them an outcast from the main group, and they don't know how to have succinct arguments to promote leftism. They just say, "Oh, we just need to be left and let's get rid of power structure," because they're in their belief thinks that if they got rid of power structures, a lot of them think that they will be on top. And you can see the way that they run their communities by it. If you think that you're a leftist because, hey, once we get rid of this power structure and we put in our own, then I'm going to be on top, you're doing leftism wrong. It's the same reason why so many tankies are unsufferably just smug, because they think, no, once we get rid of the stupid capitalists, then we can do this, and I'm gonna be a party official. No, that's not how this works. And it is so pronounced. It is so pronounced of this shit that you see it with the whole, does the left do outreach to men? To just straight cis men? Does the left do outreach to straight cis men? And the argument is, no, they don't. I had the conversation with Rico. The discussion is on my channel. But it's like, there are guys such as myself who's are comfortably cis, comfortably straight, and we want leftism in principle, not because we've been outcast. We want leftism because we have an empathy for other people, not because, well, these people kind of targeted me, so I need to move to this particular part of the political spectrum. It's you get tired of seeing people suffer. And what is amazing to me is this. Instead of pointing out good points of where, like, hey, yeah, we should reach out to men this way. Stop being toxically masculine. But I like working out. No. Stop being toxically masculine. But I'm assertive. No, you're being aggressive. No, I don't. I state who I am. No, you're supposed to be weak. You're supposed to be doomer. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And you can actually see it with a lot of people on the left, where they are ooh soy boys. I like, seriously, like, and it has nothing to do with their sexuality, or nothing to do really with their gender, but they're just soft boys, and they expect what left means is soft boys, and that's not what that means. That's not at all what that means at all. But you get these people where, if you're not a soft boy, if you're not saying capitalism is a reason for everything being wrong, then you're toxic and you're masculine. And I want to say that feeds the right's propaganda. It does. It does nothing but feeds the right's propaganda. And it's one of the reasons why you see a lot of the debate bros. Like, okay, you get the whole people get mad at Xander Hall, people get mad at Vosh, but there are people that get mad at Shark. Yeah, Shark 300. People get mad at him because reasons. And this is not somebody who's openly masculine or overly masculine. This is somebody who, no, I'm just cis presenting and I'm in some cases masculine. And people give them shit. And it's just like, really? Really? You're gonna run away. You're gonna run away people who identify and agree with you on all of your points, but because you can't identify with their exact expression, then they're bad? But I'm doing a lot of build up. But this is a reason why we've had this discussion. And this is, I know this was a few months ago or a month ago, but this is what we're going to actually go over. This video right here. And boy, you had a lot of woke skulls seething about this shit. But I guess it was TYT, so they weren't seething bad enough because they're not progressive enough. They're not leftist enough. But let's go ahead and watch this video.
Recently, there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation. In fact, 18 to 24-year-olds are lacking friends, intimate partners. They're feeling increasingly alienated from society. And when you look at statistics in regard to their education, whether or not they're working, more and more of this data reinforces that there is something awry. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions, and how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that men are struggling with, people like Jordan.
So this is all fucking true. This is all fucking true. This is all true. This is all true. And this is what kind of gravitates a lot of young guys to Jordan Peterson and people like that. There are people who don't want to acknowledge that there is a player despawn problem with guys. Now, there are some people that says, well, it's capitalism that caused a lot of guys to put value in their trade and being a provider for the family and stuff like that. That is true. That is motherfucking true. But we moved from a manufacturing economy to a service economy, and that fucked up a lot of people. In the 70s and 80s, you saw the drug epidemic. People are not doing those drugs as much as they were before. And it's leading to alcoholism, and we've always had a thing with alcoholism, even though it wasn't as reported as much. And you have these people on the left who's like, stop being masculine, when they just mean stop being dominant. And instead of breaking that down, all right, let's go.
Peterson and what have you. Now, recently, Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't. He continues to argue that leftists and progressives have absolutely no idea how unnecessarily repellent they come off to so many people, and they get angry at the idea of being a more effective social movement because they don't want to share their social spaces with people who might have gone another way.
So this is a very, very telling tweet. This is a very telling tweet. And you saw the video I recently did, that I had on my channel, that the people like FD signifiers, like these white leftists, and it's just like, dog, you are like, go to that shark video that he did. He admits that he was one of those motherfucking shit lords, edge lords, and he has some hotep tendencies, where he admits he was part of the more radical black liberation shit. And it's just like, dog, fuck. That's not left wing doing that. And you would fall into the same category as these people that had these right wing extremists. That is the thing. And a lot of these motherfuckers that are woke skulls that says, oh, man should just stop. They should just do better. They literally don't have an answer for the shit that they're getting, that these men are getting from people that are Andrew Tate, motherfucking Jordan Peterson, motherfucking Matt Walsh. They don't have an answer for them because the only thing that they do, and I'm still in this Smitey, the only thing that they actually do is define their leftism by the shit that a lot of these other motherfuckers define, like the conservatives define leftism by. You know what I define my leftism by? Making sure people don't have to suffer. Making sure housing, healthcare is not a fucking commodity. That it is something of basic fucking right to motherfucking water is not a fucking commodity. But a lot of these fucks like, oh, it's because capitalism. You are doing the meme, dog. You are doing the fucking meme. And you can't even, your arguments don't even make fucking sense. Oh my god. What was that DJ Mule? Well, Xanahar's girlfriend, she shouldn't have to clean up because of reproductive work. I live by myself. And trust me, I may have some undiagnosed conditions. But you know what I don't do? Say I'm not gonna clean up because capitalism or it's reproductive work. And these motherfuckers are living the fucking meme. But let's continue.
But the criticism for leftists continue. And to be honest, I agree with a lot of what Vosh says here. He says leftists will write master's theses on the effect of socioeconomic conditions on crime, and then shrug when 10 million more young men fall into fascism because their boy brains must just be innately fascist and they choose to be evil. And there's no way this could have been prevented. And then the final tweet.
And this is the killer part about it. All of these people that sit back and say that, oh, men are just inherently evil, or this particular group is inherently evil, or they're inherently racist or inherently bad, and you're on the left, stop using that fucking argument because you're just validating the essentialization of what these racist motherfuckers say. If you say men are inherently this or white people are inherently that, stop it, because you're using the same fucking arguments as these racists or these sexists actually do. And I know I've said it before, but I've become more eloquent in expressing it. If you can actually turn around and say this one group is bad just because they have this characteristic, why not can a racist or a sexist or a transphobe say the same exact thing? The only thing in difference that you have is your fucking opinion. Stop using that goddamn argument. It's fucking stupid. And yes, I understand whiteness isn't a phenotype. I understand whiteness is a mindset. But when you say that because somebody believes they're white, they're inherently racist, they're inherently evil, you are doing the shit that a lot of these fucking 1350 dumbasses do. It is fucking stupid. Change the fucking way you make an argument and stop that shit. And if you think, and don't get me wrong, there is fucking racism. I'm black. I know that there's racism. Deal with it all the time. But if you think you're gonna win an argument that says racism bad, you're not gonna win shit. Because some way they're gonna protect their fucking their fucking ego, to say that, well, I was just born like this, and you're saying that I'm bad because I was just born like this. They do it already now. Stop having that stupid fucking argument. Stop having an argument that says, oh, men just want to control shit because they live in a system because it's a control. A lot of these guys don't believe they're in control. I take the time to listen to these arguments on my channel. And a lot of these guys feel that the world is against them and they can't say anything right, and they feel bad because, oh, if they say the wrong thing, then they're ostracized. And you know what it sounds like? It also sounds like the same stupid shit that a lot of these fucking racist ass people say. Oh, if I say the wrong thing, I'm ostracized, and nobody wants to be ostracized. You would think, as people on the left who mostly feels their ranks with ostracized and outcast people, you would not want to do that. You would want to be more welcoming. But how is it that conservatives that want you people to live with a boot on your neck, all people, feel more welcoming than the fucking left? It's fucking stupid. And this is an example of this shit. People are shitting on you. Are you just, what do you mean? You just want women to be a fucking handmaid's tale? It is stupid. And I'm tired of this shit. Reach out instead of trying to smack somebody's hands out away. But let's continue.
Because I want to make sure you guys get a full look at what he's thinking here. This is always a good topic to feel smug over, because the replies and quote tweets are saturated with people who literally think, quote, we should care about men's problems and offer them advice is a dog whistle for we should build a Fourth Reich, thus proving the problem. Now, joining us today to talk about this is the man behind the Twitter thread, Vosh. And I want to thank you, Vosh, for taking some time to talk to us about this today.
Oh, it's an absolute delight. Don't mind the cam, by the way. Like young men, my camera encoder is alienated, just in this case from Skype. It's a pleasure to talk with you about this.
So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, because I've been just noticing it in the community around me, just like the loneliness and how atomized men are. And I don't see it as, addressing it isn't, in my opinion, a right-wing perspective or a right-wing task. I think that there are issues that the left would do a far better job in addressing, as opposed to more nefarious right-wing figures like, let's say, Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson. So before we get to all of that, what the potential solutions could be, talk to me about what you see, what you think the problem is right now with young men feeling alienated in the United States.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to something leftists tend to be more comfortable talking about, which is toxic masculinity,
And we're gonna keep going in this. Let's keep going with this. Let's go.
Male loneliness is often emergent property of toxic masculinity, which is, by the way, nobody likes this term, right? The right gets really upset when you say toxic masculinity because it sounds like you're upset with masculinity in general, and it's a really vague term. So let's just say, I think a lot of guys can be kind of antisocial because they're taught that sort of independence is a masculine virtue.
So I don't like the term toxic masculinity. I prefer performative masculinity. Anytime you have to perform your masculinity, it's a problem. You shouldn't have to perform your masculinity. Either people know that you're masculine or not. And if they don't know, why does it fucking matter? One of the persons that, we saw the fucking Turf skit about it. The Dave Chappelle skit about motherfucking Prince. Prince legally changed his name to a symbol that was hermaphroditic. Did anybody question his masculinity? And even if he did he care? He literally changed his name to a symbol that was hermaphroditic. David fucking Bowie. He was so fucking masculine that his testicles killed him. He died of testicular cancer. But he was masculine. I shadow and all. Why does it matter? But you get motherfuckers like, I was watching a video with Sneeko earlier, and it's just like, his version of masculinity is following everything else somebody tells him to do. Or being a petulant child and saying, I'm not doing it because the government says so. That's you're just being a petulant child. But it's just really performative masculinity. That's all it is. But let's go.
They're taught that, there's value in keeping your feelings bottled up. Now, obviously, it's pretty harmful. It makes people feel kind of lonely. It makes them bad at reaching out to others, connecting, sharing their interests, building friendships. I think it's one of the reasons why guys tend to view dating as sort of adversarial, because they don't think of like a woman as like, oh, well, maybe we'll just get along on some shared interests. Maybe we'll have something in common. They think of it as this like a mating battle, which, I don't think it has to be. And as a product of that, a lot of guys feel like they have no social inroads and they're kind of drifting through life without connection.
So that's, yeah. I don't understand that. I see dating as a way of, oh God, this is going to be more telling than what it should be. I see dating as a way of collecting shit. And what do I mean by collecting shit? I see dating as a way of collecting people's understanding of people, collecting people's stories, and basically just trying to learn more about the world. That's what dating has always been to me. And no, it's not about collecting panties, which would be fun, but I just would have no use for collecting panties. But I do have an interest in use in collecting stories, understanding people, and learning and getting pieces from people's lives that I didn't experience. Getting understandings. I see dating that way. But a lot of people see it, oh, I gotta battle this. Like, no, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not even gonna fight you to be with you. I mean, you want to be with me or not? You want to have fun or not? Don't? Okay, bye. That's it. But let's continue.
To people. It really sucks. And the left could, use that as an opportunity to maybe improve some people's lives, introduce them to some other ideas.
So just full disclosure, when the statistics first started coming out and they focused primarily on the lack of intimate partners, to be fair and completely honest with the audience, I was definitely more dismissive. But then when you see the other statistics, including the lack of friends, workforce participation for prime working age men between the ages of 25 and 55 has actually decreased significantly, and specifically in the United States. And so, there have been some arguments that, oh, it's the advancement of technology, it's because of video games. Well, all of these.
Well, it's not because of video games, because we have Twitch, we have YouTube. It's not because of video games. But it's literally been because we're no longer a manufacturing economy. To be very honest with you, we're a service economy, and we're no longer a manufacturing. And you get the people like, oh, you should get good trade jobs. Those will be, and I understand that there in certain fields there is so in the fields of carpentry and plumbing and shit like that, there's a cliff that we're about to fucking face, and I don't think it's gonna be. Some of it's gonna be. How do I put it? So when we look at carpentry, electrician jobs, plumbing jobs, we're coming to a cliff. I remember looking at this study where those fields in the next 10 to 15 years are gonna fall off a cliff. Some of it, well, most of it is the fault of a lot of economic downturn. A lot of the switch to the service economy, but a lot of it is downturn to, ironically, to the people that's trying to help it now. Do-it-yourself big box home improvement stores. Why do I have to take the time to hire a plumber, electrician, where I can watch a YouTube video and do it? Maybe fuck myself up, but yeah, I think a lot of that fields is going to actually go to specializations soon, and I'm a child of a plumber. My father was a plumber, but a lot of the old stuff that during his lifetime when he was alive, a lot of the older stuff to the newer stuff, it was a definite switch. He was one of the last, he was a holdout from copper pipes to PVC, but even still, he was like, PVC works better for some cases. And so, of course, metal pipes work for gas. It was something that I didn't know for a while, because my father only specialized with liquid plumbing. When you need gas hookups, natural gas hookups require plumbers. I didn't know that until I started working in a warranty field. But that's neither here or there. But yeah, no, like a lot of it is changing from a service economy. But let's go.
These technologies exist in other countries, and they're not experiencing the same decline in workforce participation. In fact, to give you a specific number from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 7 million prime working age men are not working, and they're not looking for work. They're also self-medicating quite a bit. A huge portion of them have reported that they're taking painkillers daily. Deaths of despair are very prominent and pronounced among the male population versus the female population.
And this is some of the things that the right is talking about, but the left isn't. And I don't want to make an assumption because I haven't looked at the study. Not a lot of these people are despawning themselves because they're concerned with their gender identity. That's not a thing. There are a lot of guys who are cis that are struggling with identity, but it's not gender identity, it's just identity and benefit to the world. And yeah, they're self-medicating. But the left would only be concerned in a lot of cases with the people that may have gender identity issues, where it's also about personal worth. And it's personal worth in capitalism. No, some people feel that they haven't contributed to society outside of the dollar amount. That's a thing for people, and they are living in the depths of despair. But let's go.
These are huge issues. In fact, the Bureau of Labor Statistics also noted that when it comes to unemployment among working age men, we have a 1937 economy. Okay, and again, this is not happening in other rich developed countries, right? So there is a crisis happening, and I'm trying to figure out what is it exactly, right? The right wing will say, oh, it's feminism. It's because women don't want to stay at home and raise kids. They want to be independent. They don't want to enter, romantic partnerships, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that for a second.
Because it's not true. Like, if you really want to address a few things, one, a lot of people you need two incomes. I live in my apartment. I really got a real good deal on my rent. But if it was to go up by $100, I wouldn't be able to support myself on one income. I wouldn't. That would literally fuck my whole world up. And still support everything I need to support. That would fuck my whole world up. It is not something where it's just like, oh yeah, no, just hustle harder. Like, no, I work a fucking 40-hour-a-week job, and I try to do this, and all the supporters that support me, if you want to support me, go to my Patreon and support, or, just a simple donation to my PayPal. Look in the description for that. Or just like and subscribe, help me get to 1,000 subscribers by June 1st. But yeah, no, women aren't just working in the field just to be working in the field. No, a lot of it is that they need the income. You need a 2-person income to live. Wages are stagnant. It's not because feminism, what bitches don't want to listen, so they don't want to listen to, what did Elliot Hall say? They just want to make another man their boss. Instead of having a husband as their boss. Yeah, it's that bullshit. It's that bullshit. But let's go.
And I do agree that some of the rhetoric is a problem, statements about toxic masculinity, a lot of generalizing about people. I also think that there's a misconception that this is an issue that predominantly impacts white males, but that's actually not the case. The largest population that this impacts is actually Black men in America. And so this is a huge problem. And what do you think we need to say or frame, or how can we frame this issue so it's more palatable to the left, who, you know, generally do want to ensure that every community is looked after, that everyone feels that, you know, they're living a happy, prosperous life?
But the people who are against this don't want every community to look after, and that's the problem. That's what they kind of, that's what what she's missing. The people miss this. Only communities they want to look after who say this shit are their own communities where they can get their own clout. Now, there are genuine people who feel that, yeah, we probably do need to reach out to men, but the people who cause the most backlash about this tweet, they don't care about other people's communities. They care about their own and the communities that they have power in right now. But let's continue.
It's a tough sell. You know, people feel these issues in their gut. When we talk about the kinds of things that drive people out to vote or even to throw revolutions, we're usually talking about very basic gut level problems that political analysis gets added to. You know, for a long time in this country and many others, anti-immigration sentiment has been built on the anxiety of working class people who feel their jobs are threatened by immigrants. Often the data doesn't bear that out, but it's their fear that's used as a catalyst to push those politics. The anxiety, the loneliness of young men, this has historically been used as catalysts for, well, I mean, basically everything from the Bolsheviks in Russia to the brown shirts in Germany. It's just a large and often unaddressed demographic. This isn't a competition thing. We're not talking about giving up on feminist analysis or saying it's like, oh, well, actually men have it worse than women, right? It's not about that. It's just.
And so that's actually a good point. When you take it and say that, oh, men have it worse, oh, this group of people have it worse, it doesn't solve shit. Like, goddamn, I am reminded of the Martin Luther King fucking drum major instinct speech. And this is what kills me about this. A lot of these people who, especially these fucking woke souls, oh, these white liberals or these white people that don't want to listen. King had a awesome speech where he was in jail, and he was, because he led another protest, and he got to talking to some of the guards, and one of the guards told him how much he was getting paid, and King says, you don't need to be on that side, you need to be with us, because your kids are going to the same shitty schools that ours is. It's just separated by this. It's not about saying that you need to be beaten down to understand our plight. It's like, no, a lot of these people have the same fucking plight. So why browbeat them more? Bring them to your side. But yeah, let's go.
You want to reach out to people where they are. And to start that process, you know, with a lot of young guys, I think it would help if lefties were willing to acknowledge the sort of natural conclusion of toxic masculinity as like a mode of social analysis, which is if men are socialized in certain ways and treated in certain ways socially, it necessarily follows they must have specific problems. And if those problems are the product of social systems that are out of their control, I don't know why we wouldn't apply the same basic sociological lens of analysis to that as we would with literally anything else. Patriarchy, racism, transphobia. No individual has control over these systems. And we try to interweave analysis with our compassion for and respect for the individual problems people have. We do this all the time with other issues. And to an extent, we do it with men. But I feel like we lean off that a little bit. Maybe
exactly my point. If you, as a leftist, say, well, this group is getting a bad shape because of this. This group is getting a bad shape because of that. And you say, no, it's just because men are evil. You unironically disprove your other arguments about socioeconomic change that needs to be done. Because you wanted that one dig at the group that you don't like. The group that made fun of you. The group that made you an outcast. That you share most of your fucking views with in a lot of cases. But you get, because it's against that group, is fucking bad. And I'm not doing the whole, oh yeah, white people face reverse racism. No, that's bullshit. They do face racism. There's no such thing as reverse racism. They do face racism by certain groups of certain people, and they shit on them. And unless they're fucking part of the out group, they tend not to be taken as seriously as somebody who's part of the out group. There is no reason why that a masked guy shouldn't be looked at with the same type of compassion as a trans female or a black person or any other BIPOC person. There is no reason why. If somebody's saying that they're hurting, they're being hurt by the fucking system, then they should have the same fucking compassion. Whether they want to sleep with somebody that's their opposite gender expression or their same gender expression. It fucking doesn't matter. If somebody's being hurt by the system, if somebody's forced is seeing the flaws in the system, it is no reason why somebody on the left shouldn't take them to the side and say, I understand you, this is how we can help. But a lot of people, again, it comes down to they act like fucking bullied ass theater kids. Well, you were mean to me, or somebody that was like you was mean to me, so I hate you. You're a representation of that because of the way you look. And what does that sound like? But let's continue.
Because men's rights as like a sort of a nominative thing, you know, like how it's referred to, usually refers to misogynist or incel communities online. So it's like, oh, well, men's rights, you actually mean like this or that. Well, leaving aside the baggage, right? You can call it what you want, men's advocacy, whatever, just common decency. It's still worth pursuing.
Yeah, I think the phrasing men's rights activists, it does unfortunately make one recall some of the most unsavory individuals imaginable, right? Some who think that rape should be legalized. So I don't like thinking about that group when it comes to this particular issue, because I don't think this is about male entitlement. I don't think this is about men feeling or fighting for a system in which men get to feel entitled to certain things in society, including, you know, certain sexual acts, whatever it is. This is really about making sure that people don't feel lonely, feel that they have purpose in life. That's the other thing. An increasing number of young men feel like they have no purpose in life. And I think that it has to do with the fact that for the longest time, they were conditioned to believe that they are supposed to be the breadwinner in a family. And when they are lacking this educational attainment necessary to get the kind of career that makes the kind of money that makes them feel like the breadwinner, well, then it makes them feel like they're not really worth anything. I see a lot of that going on.
True. Again, moving from if you're in a manufacturing economy, which is smaller than a service economy, this is what you actually get. This is fucking true. But let's continue.
As well. When you look at the number of college educated men, that has declined significantly. And so some of the solutions that I've heard from people who do take this seriously on the left is that, hey, there's a lack of male role models in, you know, the public education system. There's a huge disparity between female and male educators in the public school system. Curious what you think about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is. I do think it's unfortunate that we consider education such like a feminized profession. Not because there's anything wrong with female teachers or whatever, but obviously people take a lot from their education, and any significant disparity in representation is going to reflect some kind of social value. So, I mean, we can see the need for this reflected in the fact that two of the largest breakout conservative figures in the past 5 years, respectively, Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate, both became powerful in exactly the same way. That is to say, they postured as like self-help gurus for young men who felt like they'd been failed by society and left no options to better themselves otherwise. Now, the prescriptions those two offer are garbage and completely irredeemable. You know, I think Jordan Peterson said you should clean your room. You can do that, but apart from that, don't listen. But it shows what people are going for, right? And frankly,
I mean, like, you can always clean your room. And tell you what, when you do have a clean room, people want to get naked in it. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let's go.
You know, it doesn't take a lot of internet sleuthing to find out that a lot of people are feeling really listless these days. You have to give people identities and aspirations. I see a lot of this discussion with young women. One of the discourse bits that always comes up, it's how do you be a good feminist, but also like, what about this feminine wiles thing, right? Or like, how do I balance my progressive attitudes on gender with this, that, the other attitude I have on you know, what it means to be a woman? It's an interesting topic. I have no skin in the game. Good luck, right? I don't know how often that gets resolved in left spaces with guys, because it is a good question. How do you resolve, you know, progressivism with like, well, being a masculine guy. A lot of women you might want to date kind of do like manly guys, at least some of them, right? But what does it mean to be manly in a context that isn't, Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson? Just having the conversation might get a lot of folks invested, or they might understand that the left is interested in these issues beyond a sort of like token, like surface level political skim where they're trying to get people off the top. Compassion.
Yeah, compassion's the right word.
And you know what's funny? And okay, so I hate to do a video within a video, but I'm going to take the time to stop and say this. So recently, and I don't even know if that video is still around, Little Joe or Big Joe did a video where he was pointing out that somebody said that a lot of the it was a woman who was saying the worst thing about dating on the left is a lot of the guys look like this. And what got me is that he totally missed the point of what she was saying. He was like, "Oh, you're saying that I'm ugly, or I already have a girlfriend." And she wasn't saying that you were ugly, dog. She was saying that a lot of the guys on the right take the time to look masculine. They take the time to look beefy or buff or shit like that. And it's just like, that's what she was saying. And he took it as, "Oh, you must say I'm ugly." And like, no, dog, like that's not what they were saying. That's not what the young lady was saying. Some women still just like masculine guys. I just joked to saying that I like big titties. Like, who doesn't like big titties? Except with Vegeta, which is weird, but he likes big asses. Anyway, there are certain things that we're kind of genetically programmed to like, and it's okay. And yes, do some women find androgynous, even cis presenting guys, but androgynous guys sexy? Yeah, of course. But yeah, that's not the society that everybody lives in, and it's okay. But shit, you're taking that from somebody who women love me because I look like a big ass teddy bear to them. But let's go.
I think, and you got a lot of backlash for talking about this, and you might tweet about it, but where I've heard you actually talk about this issue at length is on your streams. And I think you're thoughtful in the way you talk about this issue, but you still get hit with, "Oh, you're just a secret right winger" from your critics, right?
It's been known to happen. I know.
What's behind that? Because I feel like that is what most of, at least the online left, I don't know if I can say that about the left in general. They seem to spend a lot of time going after one of their own who might have some ideas that are a little different, or might have concerns that are a little different from their own.
Well, the gatekeeping tendencies of the left are how you know you're a leftist, right? If you're a good leftist, the people you hate most should be other leftists. It's the only way to know.
I'm a great leftist then.
Yeah, we're phenomenal leftists. I think there's kind of like, I don't want to overuse.
I don't want to use blue. I don't want to fucking use blue. I don't want to use blue. I don't want to use purple either. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out. And orange is just too Iron Man-y. And I don't want to do black. Fuck. Okay, all right. Take a break from this video right quick. Actually, no. Let's go. We'll finish this video.
The term, or maybe use it lightly, the term trauma. But I feel like after the past decade of online discourse, people are very sensitive, especially on the left. People are very sensitive to the idea that we need to treat men better, not necessarily because they disagree with the idea of treating men better. That seems like a nice thing to do broadly. I would hope a lot of people would agree with that, but rather because we need to treat men better has often been couched in this very ideologically loaded set of policy and social prescriptions that usually have to do with undoing the gains of feminism, or at the very least negating the harms that women experience. So
you can treat men better, promote healthier lives for men without taking from women. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not, but let's go.
Because of, the patriarchy or inequality, I fully sympathize with the sensitivity. I mean, I've been online for a while. I see how the discourse tends to go. But we have to be strong enough to understand when a dog whistle isn't a dog whistle, when it's just a term. I would hope that a lot of lefties could understand you may have an aversion to the capital M, capital R men's rights movement, a justified one. But to the outside, when you seem to be taking a stance against the concept of men's rights, people who aren't as familiar with the context of that discourse might interpret that as you literally politically being opposed to like men doing all right.
So here's the thing, and that's it. Most people don't follow politics. I need everybody on the online left to realize that they're online. You know, having a conversation, and this is anecdote, having a conversation with my 60-year-old mother. She was asking me why I'm a non-believer. And I mentioned a few things. I was like, yeah, some of the stories, you know, are eerily similar. Things like the virgin birth, Krishna, Dionysus, Horus. Do you know she actually thought I was saying that the Egyptian god Horus, which really means lamb, which people may say Lamb of God, was equating Jesus to a horse. Because I said Horus. And I had to explain to her. I am constantly online. I no longer have cable TV. I am doing internet from my cable provider. I have online apps. I have Crunchyroll, Netflix, Hulu comes with my fucking phone service. I watch YouTube. I have YouTube Premium. That's why you don't see motherfucking commercials when I do videos. By the way, if you want to help support my channel so I can help continue to bring uninterrupted videos from YouTube, yeah, YouTube Premium. But it's not everybody's online. That's not a thing. And even if they're online, they're stuck in Facebook. Now, I use Facebook because there are groups of people that I still talk to with Facebook. I use Facebook as most people use Twitter because, yeah, generational thing. But there are people who are not online that don't know the terminology that you're using. There are people who don't know what Riz means. I just tend to watch a lot of shit that's ironically created by late 20-year-olds and early 30-year-olds that I understand that. But not everybody does. There is a generational divide. And there are even people who aren't on the internet that didn't just have access to the technology, and their access to the technology is a smartphone that they barely use, and they interact with people in real life. So when you say, "Oh, we hate to stand up for men's rights," they're not saying that they're not hearing that you hate the MRA movement. They hear that you're saying that you don't want men to have rights. But let's continue.
Which doesn't do great for them recruitment numbers. We could really use those. Things in the country aren't going great right now, and bereaved masculinity is basically the front line. It's the bulwark of the fascist movement that's growing in this country. Steve Bannon was specifically recruiting from incel forums. Those Andrew Tate 12-year-old TikTok flossing tweens or whatever are not going to grow up to vote for Biden when he's 105 years old. There is a trend that's happening right now. There is a group of people looking for answers, and that's young men who do feel listless. And you can watch them be pulled away by a multi-million-dollar effort from the right to appeal to their insecurities, or you can try to do something about it. And to me, there is an obvious right answer here.
I agree with you on that. I'm going to leave you all with one final statistic, and this is incredibly alarming. A May 2021 poll from the Survey Center on American Life revealed the number of American men who view themselves as having no close friends quintupled over the last 30 years, increasing from 3% in 1990 to 15% in 2021. So for anyone who thinks that this is just about male entitlement to sexual activity, you're mistaken. Open your eyes, look a little harder, because if you consider yourself a progressive or a leftist, the whole ideology is to want to uplift people, pick people up when they're down, and immediately dismissing this very clear issue that continues to grow in the country, I don't think is the right way to go. I think the left needs to offer better solutions. And to be completely frank, I don't know exactly what those solutions are yet, but I want to have more of these conversations moving forward. And Vosh, I'm grateful that you took the time to talk to us today.
And I'm incredibly grateful that you reached out and gave me the opportunity. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's not as.
So let's go back to here. It's interesting enough. Like I said, you these woke skulls, like, oh my god, they will have, of course, anybody that has success outside of their communities are bad. Anybody that makes any type of compromise are bad. And it's one of those things where it's just like, no, you have to be ideologically pure, and you have to like not make any mix-ups, or you have not to be different, or and it's just like, you guys realize that without them there is no winning. Without somebody joining our movement is small, right? We need the straight cis men in order to move the idea. We just need them in numbers, and we can convert them to an ideology of helping people and being concerned for people. You don't have to convert them to being openly pan or trans. You just have to understand that they need to learn how to want to help people, and seeing helping people as a way of progressing for themselves. That's what this whole point is about. That's what reaching out to men is about. That's what reaching out to white people is about. That's what reaching out to even rich people who actually still have a soul and hasn't had it sucked out in exchange for $1 billion. That's why the left needs to reach out to men. I think that a lot of people miss that, because they just view it as a social club, as their mark of why I'm right. And it's just like, you're fucking doing it wrong. You're fucking doing it wrong. And I don't know. Just like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. And yeah. Remember, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by June 1st. We are 156 away. You help me get to that 1,000, and then we can actually all enjoy more of me. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Cut this video segment here. Oh man. I think I like this, the way it's turning out. Oh man. So here, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. Let me pull this off the screen. There we go. I'm gonna say this. I am somebody who takes like phrases and lessons from a lot of shit from different media I consume. Like, I watch Naruto, you see the little clips and shit like that from Naruto. But it's one show, and they just recently came back with like the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War arc. And yeah, I'm talking about Bleach. But it's several different lessons and phrases that I saw from that motherfucking show that can be applied, not one to one, but can be applied to what a lot of people think. And one of the key parts about it, and if you're a Bleach fan, you know what I'm talking about. So, Soul Society arc, Ichigo had just fought Renji, and that's where he did the whole, you know, he reflected to his lesson back to Kisuke, where Kisuke was like, you know, when you defend somebody, when you defend, you don't let them cut you. When you protect somebody, you don't let them die. And when you strike, you kill. That was Kisuke's speech, and Ichigo remembered that, and he fought Renji. And then like he would heal by Hanadaro, and he ran into Kapachi, and Kapachi definitely devastated his ass. And you saw the whole little thing with he was talking with old man Zangetsu, and Zangetsu says, "Do you want to live or do you want to win?" And I feel like a lot of leftists, they just want to live and they want to survive. They don't want to win. They want to take this as a motherfucking social club. It's not. It's a political movement. We are supposed to win, not just live in this system and hopefully overthrow it. That shit is stupid. God damn. God damn. And it's just hilarious to me. Like a lot of them, they just want to. Oh, they want to be the motherfucking They want to be the smug motherfuckers. Like, I kept my principles. I kept my principles while I was while we're marching off to the death camps. And it's just like, no, motherfucker. Like, you don't. That's not how that works. And like with the whole, oh my god. I do want to say this. Mysterious girl leaping from this rug. Cleaning. I'm gonna watch that later. What kills me is it leads to so many different incoherent rhetoric and actions from people on the left. Like the J.K. Rowling thing, I have to admit, that was stupid as shit. We laughed. We sat back and laughed at the conservatives that broke their Keurig, that broke their Nikes, that, like, what else was it? It was a Pacific Cooler Company. We laughed at that shit. But you get the trans community who called for the boycott of Harry Potter. And you know what? I feel you. I feel you. If you feel that J.K. Rowling, the piece of shit turf that she is a bad person, and you don't want people supporting anything that she's actually put out, even though, ironically, she's been motherfucking disowned by the property. It's really is just in the hands of Warner Brothers now, and the people who made the game. They like, if you want to be pissed off at the fact that people are being exploited and ostracized, like, be mad at Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers fucks over people, a lot more people than motherfucking J.K. Rowling shits on. Be mad about that shit. But you mad at the game because the turf is the icon. I'm sorry, when has J.K. Rowling when has she ever been, quote unquote, for oppressed people? I will wait and see, like, she has literally in her books representations. Oh no, they're house elves. Like, you know, house elves. Whatever. What other house, quote unquote, race of people have we heard that should be happy about doing work? Oh no, she talks about poor people, like poor people, and like, yeah, the people that she like, she doesn't support, like, she supports a class society. She supports a caste society. And you know, I don't know, like, can we say the house elves are just slaves that should be happy that they're doing work? Oh, she set one of them free in the book. Did she set them all free in the book? I'm sorry, when are you surprised that J.K. Rowling has been a piece of shit person? When were you surprised about that? When she started saying turf shit? Oh, she started saying turf shit. You was okay with house niggas. I mean Negroes. I mean house elves. And the bankers, which she kind of described. Like, here, let's see. Here, let's see if we can actually pull it out. Harry Potter banker goblins. Yeah. These are the Harry Potter banker goblins. This, I don't know. This seems like kind of it's kind of like when you see had the Ferengi type of people. What did they look like to you? What did the Ferengi look like to you? I not necessarily subtle, is it? Not necessarily subtle. When, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just like, to me, you're surprised that J.K. Rowling was a piece of shit person. When did you be surprised? She uses racist imagery, thinly veiled racist imagery. And I saw only one fucking part of the fucking Harry Potter. Like the first book, the first movie, The Sorcerer's Stone, they didn't have much of this shit in there. But when the second, like, the fuck? Like, I am biased. I will say I am biased because I read the Rick Riordan universe, the Percy Jackson book universe, which is actually somebody who was a middle school teacher who had to deal with actual kids. They had to deal with gender identity, sexual identity, and things of that nature. Somebody who's actually had to deal with kids living with being who they are. But the J.K. Rowling is bad because she's the turf. Make that make sense to me. The turf. The turf. She's bad because she's a turf now. Make that make sense to me. Like, I'm because she's a turf now. J.K. Rowling has always been bad. And it was thinly veiled, cast class and race systems that she had. Thinly veiled. But hey, you know. Anyway, I'm not gonna make that as a segment, but it just, why are y'all mad now? Why the fuck are y'all mad now? And if you would say, like, in like the books, she may not have been talking about black people as slaves. She may have been talking about any indigenous person that England moved, that people in England moved to England to work as their servants. You goddamn right. But why are you guys surprised? Why are you guys surprised? I don't know why people are surprised now. Oh, she said some turf stuff. House elves and banker goblins. Yeah. Why are you guys surprised? Anyway, let's finish working on this. Do I have any other videos that I want to cover? See, okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I like streaming on Sundays because Sundays are just the days where I can just sit back and chill and all this other good shit. It feels good. Yeah. It feels good. I actually was working on my expenses that I have. And damn, I actually do have a lot of fucking expenses when it comes to my YouTube channel and streaming and art and shit. It's fucking unbelievable. Oh my god. It's like I have so much shit that I need to cover that it's just did I do this one?
But it wasn't.
Yeah, I did this one. Let's see. I've done that one. It's just sad that it's so many videos that I have to actually go over. Here, let's actually do this. I remember what I did with this cat. Okay. All right. So, let's go. First of all, before we proceed, I do want to say thank you guys for watching this clip. This clip can be found on my YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, like, share, and subscribe, and all that lovely shit. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by June 1st. You can make the difference in helping me hit that subscribe button, and we can actually go from there. That being said, now that I'm finished chilling for this 10 seconds or something like that, we're actually going to go to the video. All right, so we if you guys remember, I made a little fun video about a video with Richard Pryor on the Dick Cavett show. And it was a slight humorous video, and if you watch any of my videos long form, especially my streams, you would actually see that I use Richard Pryor a lot. It with doing that, I got to this clip, or to that clip, and I'm to this clip. Another person that I actually focus on is James Baldwin. And if you know who James Baldwin is, James Baldwin was a civil rights activist, author, and somebody who was around Malcolm X, Dr. King, and Medgar Evers. He was a gay man, and he spoke out for human rights, not just, I don't even know if he would call us. I know he had a lot of relationships with men. I think he said he had some relationships with women. It doesn't matter, but he spoke out with about relationships of all types and the social pressures of being a black man, where his book couldn't be published in the U.S., but as soon as he went to England, he got published. He spent a lot of time in France. He lived in Italy. He was somebody who was just a civil rights activist, but he had a lot of noticeable debates, and this is one of the things that people had conversations with him because of the debates that he had. So we're gonna actually just watch him talk with Paul West and debate discrimination in America. So let's just watch this video, and I'll respond to it as I can. Let's go.
At Yale, and I guess I do have a copy of the book that he recently wrote with his son. It's the one you may have read about in Time magazine, called Right and Wrong. It's a dialogue between father and son. His son is here and will be out later. He's a lawyer. And Mr. Weiss is, did I mention this? Sterling professor of philosophy at Yale. You've seen him on the show possibly before. He's the most interesting teacher I had at Yale because he didn't lecture. The class was fluid. He answers questions as they're fired at him. And I'd like him to meet you, if you haven't met him yet, and to meet Mr. Baldwin and Phyllis Newman. And here's Dr. Paul Weiss.
All right, let's see what's going on with this. Shall we? Let's go.
Were you able to listen to the show backstage?
A good deal of it, but then I was behind the bus video.
Yes.
So I heard only some of it.
Did you hear anything that you disagreed with?
I disagreed with a great deal of it. I'm one of Mr. Baldwin's admirers. I've written him 10 letters, and of course, there's a good deal I agree with. But I think he's overlooking one very important matter, I think. Each one of us, I think, is terribly alone. He lives his own individual life. He has all kinds of obstacles in the way of religion or color or size or shape or lack of ability, and the problem is to become a man. For each one of us, I think all this talk about poverty, race, prejudice is important, vital, but it's not really at the center. It deals only with the means in the way, or the obstacles in the way of becoming something much more serious and important. That is the...
So this, obviously, this is the time where you can actually smoke indoors. But just hear that, like, oh yeah, it matters some type of way, but when it comes down to it, it's you. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Clean up your room. You need to hustle. This, like, the arguments do not change. When you trying to keep a fucking system in place, the arguments does not change. Well, yeah, the system is bad, but you can always overcome it, no matter how much weight that you have on you, and metaphorically, not literally. But let's continue.
To be someone in yourself, to become a man, is a difficult job. It takes a lifetime.
I don't disagree with that at all.
I didn't think you would.
But
and again, this is one of those crazy things. Like, James Baldwin didn't disagree with that. He at any time, do you hear somebody who is looking at these systems of power to say that, oh, it's, you don't have any output, no input in the decisions you make in your life. No one is actually saying that. And if somebody actually says, no, it's all your, it's all the product of the system, and you have no choice in the matter, then they peddling bullshit. Yes, you do have choice. You do have some personal responsibility. But let's listen to how James Baldwin actually, dissects this.
I take that for granted. I really do.
That, you see, but by taking it for granted, you emphasize always the obstacles in the way, and perhaps you have it in mind. So I think your hearers very often forget that you have another objective in view, the one we both agree upon.
Is what I'm talking about.
I don't think was asking that question before when he asked you, aren't you being more extreme? Isn't there some other end? Is it all hopeless? In one sense, it is not hopeless. In another sense, it is. It's hopeless in the sense that nobody ever attained the state of being a full man. But it's not hopeless in the sense that every one of us has a problem which he can resolve more or less within himself.
Sounds familiar? You need to take care of yourself. It's only you. It no matter what the system is throwing at you, even though the system is trying to control you, it's just you. But the system is against you. But it's just you. But you can do it. You can change. But it's you. They don't hear the contradiction. They don't. They don't hear what they're saying. They just want to get to the point where if it's something going bad in your life, no matter what else is going around you, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Well, let's continue.
These obstacles are terrible, I agree with you, but they're not insuperable if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, but what I was discussing was not that problem, really. I was discussing the difficulties, the obstacles, the very real danger of death thrown up by the society when a black man attempts to become a man.
Yes, there's another important thing with that, and I suppose you do agree. All this emphasis upon black man and white does emphasize something which is here, but it emphasizes it or perhaps exaggerates it, and therefore makes us put people together in groups which they ought not to be in. I have more in common with a black scholar than I have with a white man who's against scholarship. And you have...
He doesn't recognize who the fuck he's talking to. He just wants to live in the comfortable idea that it's all about merit. And when I say that Paul Weiss doesn't understand who he's talking to, he is literally talking to someone who overcame the motherfucking poverty or bad situation that he was in to become a world travel author. And by the same token, James Baldwin is saying that, yeah, I was able to, but I am the exception, not the rule. All personal responsibility, you can change yourself. Yes, in rare cases, one person can change themselves, but the system is designed to have rare cases and fuck everybody else. But let's continue.
More in common with a white author than you have with someone who's against all literature. So why must we always concentrate on color or religion or this? There are other ways of connecting men.
I'm not talking about that. I understand
I know
that.
you don't.
I understand that. But as we sit here now, by the will of the people, a man named Ronald Reagan governs California. And the terms I'm using, you must understand, are not the terms that I myself might choose. I'm not interested in whether a person is white or black or green or yellow. I'm talking about the force of the state, which at this moment is oppressing black people all over this nation.
Not all.
The force of the state.
Not all. Not all. That's what you have to say? Not all? Not all. Not all? Not all. Just 99%. Not all. And again, this is in the 1970s. Not all. Not all. So, majority, yes. But not all. Fuck out of here, dude.
State which is oppressing every black man in this nation.
You write freely, don't you know? Is black getting in your way as being a writer, an author?
Yes.
It is. Tell us how.
Mind you, he put out his book, tried to put out his book in the U.S., And when he went to England, had no problem. When he tried to do it in the U.S., I don't want nobody like this, like you putting out this book. But he went to England, no fucking problem. But let's go.
To know how being black gets in the way of your being an author.
In the first place, now you put me a little bit on the spot.
I
don't like to discuss myself or my
All
work.
right, let's not talk about you. Let's talk about some other black author or white author.
No, let's not do it that way. I'll tell you what I mean. I'll use myself. Let's go for broke.
Here we go.
It is the first difficulty then is to, and you will say this is true for everybody, but I am like you, all right? In the first place, I have to deal with the fact that my history is inaccessible to me. That my history in this country begins with the bill of sale.
Your individual history?
My name is Baldwin.
Does he not understand a fucking metaphor? Do they not have metaphor when you came for, or did they? Oh my God. My God. Well, you're not oppressed. What about the history that I've had to deal with? Well, you're not oppressed. Merit. God damn it. Let's go.
Yes.
It's an old English name.
That. My name is White. It was been derived from somebody else. Maybe my great ancestor was white-haired or whatever. I don't know.
But you have at least the Psalms of David.
I don't have them. I don't think I've read them in 10 years.
That doesn't matter.
Or 20. I couldn't tell you one of them.
Oh, God. Because we know that you fall fully out the womb with no other expectations, but I'm just gonna be this. I'm gonna be this. Fall fully formed out the womb. Feet first. All right, let's go.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. One's got to face this fact. Let us say we're both black, right? We both get here at the same time, right? You come from one tribe, I come from another. You speak one language, I speak another. We cannot talk to each other. We don't know what is happening to us. We're confronting a white man with a Bible and a gun and a cross. And what you have to do, if you're going to live, is accept this stranger, this book you cannot yet read, under the gun. Wait a moment. You asked me a question, I'll do my best to answer it.
Yes, but you must give me a chance to say something too.
One moment. I really will. I'm not trying to.
Can I do something even more unforgivable? Because due to the mechanics, if we don't pause now, we may not be back for a while. So we will, and then we'll be back. Stay with us. Gentlemen.
He had to take a commercial break. Let's go.
Where were we?
I was in the middle of the Psalms of David.
Yes.
Right?
It's attributed to me somehow.
But I was trying to make a point. The point is this simply: that one began here, so the history an identity, not only inaccessible, but also systematically and deliberately denied and destroyed. The Moynihan Report talks about the breakup of the Negro family, and it occurs to me as a very bitter kind of comment on the people who did their best to break up that family. Now to blame the family for being broken up, and to suggest
He wasn't doing that. The report I read. Okay.
Well, there are no male father images from the Negro child. Big news.
So you're trying
in
to
the first
describe
in the first place, that's not as true as Moynihan would like to think. Otherwise, there would be none of us here at all. The point is that then, come back to where I was. One has to really excavate out of the absence of a history, and then out of the presence of a history which is absolutely indescribable. You must remember that I was taught, and black children until today are being taught, that no black people ever contributed anything to history, that I was not much better than an ape, and I was lucky to be discovered and acted by white people.
Mr. Baldwin.
Which, again, this is the 1970s. This shit was true. This is what people were taught. And like I was watching the JonTron Destiny debate earlier. Oh, that happened so long ago. Motherfucker, Jim Crow happened to my grandmother. As a matter of fact, my mother was born during the time before they overturned Jim Crow. Before they overturned motherfucking the Civil Rights Act. My mother was alive. She was young, but she was alive before the Civil Rights Act was fucking was brought into effect. That was a thing that happened. But let's go.
But if your case were carried out all the way through the way you're putting it, it'd be hard to understand how you ever wrote a word. After all, you're a distinguished novelist. You must have had time of freedom. Somebody must have paid attention to it. You must have been reviewed objectively as an author, not as a Negro. Nobody gave a damn whether your great ancestor had been bought or sold, but they treated your literature or your work in its own terms. That's where you wanted it. That's where you had it. That's where you're having it now. What are you criticizing? What are you objecting to? That there are terrible.
You should be happy that you were able to escape. This is what we hear. You should be happy that you were able to escape. I was watching a channel recently that I got into. It was like he was telling the story about how yesterday was the National Day of Hate. It was like, yeah, Robert Reed. It's like Gin and Truth. He was saying that yeah, it was like he was talking to a coworker and he said, "You people should be happy. We gave you a black president twice. You should be happy somebody let you be a good author regardless of your skin color." Yes, a master? Like the fuck? All right, let's go.
Terrible injustices everyone admits, but you're generalizing and you're rigidifying and you're solidifying it in such a way as if there's no way out. You're an exhibition of the fact there's a way out.
Am I?
Yes. You yourself admitted. You're not just the incarnation of blackness, you're an author. That's why I think of you.
I beg your pardon. I'm also the oldest of 9 children, all of whom are black.
This where it comes in for the kill. This where it comes in for the kill. Let's go.
I'm one of the few survivors of my generation, all of whom the people I'm speaking of are black. There were Jimmy Baldwin or Sammy Davis or Harry Belafonte or Sidney Poitier. There are a whole lot of people you've never heard of, at least equally talented, perhaps more talented, who did not manage. I'll tell you how one makes it in this country if you're black. You have to decide somehow that you are not going to be controlled by what white people think of you.
Of course. What anybody thinks of you, ultimately you have to think of yourself and be true to yourself.
I don't care what Senator Eastland thinks about me, or Ronald Reagan thinks about me, but they have the power to destroy my life and the life of my children, and this is given them by the will of the state. I'm not talking about myself as a writer. Of course I'm a writer, I know that. I know what produced me too, and it was not simply Charles Dickens or any of your colleges, it was also Bessie Smith and Ray Charles and my father who was a preacher and my mother who learned how to sing.
That's true of anybody who's a writer.
What I am trying to say is that the gap, the distance placed between myself and my own assessment, my own experience, was much greater than it would be for any white person in this country.
I don't believe it.
I know you don't believe it.
What? He doesn't believe it? What? Because it's about merit. Oh my God. Have the arguments changed? Have the arguments changed? No. And you know what? I actually want to capture that. I want to capture that. Yeah, put that down later. But let's go.
I'm not complaining. I'm not copying a plea. It's not a special plea. I'm trying to make you see something.
Every child starts from scratch. They are helped in various exterior ways in order to be able to find themselves. But the finding of themselves goes within. To become a writer is something that you have to struggle with by yourself, in yourself. And all these other things are conditions and problems, and I grant you had more than other people have.
I didn't even say that. I said they were different. I'll tell you this. When I left this country.
And here's the thing, and this is what I criticize the left for. And I will say this. James Baldwin actually handled it in a way where you won't see a lot of leftists after. He stated it was different. And that's where you want to actually have that conversation. That's where you want to have the conversation. Having it as different. Yes, and you know what? You are absolutely right. You are so right and far to say that yes, black people have it just more oppressive. Women have it more oppressive. LGBTQ people have it more oppressive. But when somebody you're trying to convince hears that, they hear, I had it worse And I hit it bad too, so what makes you any different? They don't hear worse. When you explain different, you can reach out to them. You can reach out to them. And yeah, it's not going to work on 100% of the people. But when you explain different, instead of saying worse, and oh God, I am not fucking dismantling anybody's fucking oppression that they've had. Trust me. Let's be honest here. I'm a black cartoon or character artist that does anime shit. I understand. It's but when you use the term different versus worse, you can try to help them see your side. And when you explain the difference in their mind, when you explain the difference, it's like, oh yeah, we both grew up poor, but you know what? Sometimes the difference between us is the cops already have a fucking idea of how I'm supposed to be. They fill in the part of why that's worse. And you're not trying to play the oppression Olympics. It helps you reach out to them and win them to your side. But there it goes. That's talking about winning them to your side. But let's continue.
In 1948. I left this country for one reason only, one reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong, I might have gone to Timbuktu, I ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than it already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a right about yourself. You had to be able then to turn off all the antenna with which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to sit at a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which was not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody.
And there we have it. This is what we're saying about explaining the difference. And when you break it down to say like the difference, and then you explain the fucking difference, oh shit, that is bad. That is bad. Oh shit, that is bad. This is a masterclass of how to win people to your side. But let's continue.
Everybody, no matter who, no matter what his attitude, is bigoted.
I did not say that.
Well, has an attitude. It's on his face. It's in the way of every boss.
But you're
every
asking
boss.
me. You're asking me to do something impossible. You're asking me to take the will for the deed. I don't know what most white people in this country feel. I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know, as Malcolm X once put it, it's the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That says a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their unions. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks I give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
Then you go in for the kill. And then you go in for the kill. This is how you do it. You explain the difference. You explain how you feel. Without blaming. Oh my God. He didn't even have to say they were racist. He didn't have to say that, yeah, they're just racist and they want to exclude us and they want to kill us. This is the history that we have. You tell me what it was going to be. This is how you debate someone who says it's about merit right now. Because their arguments haven't changed. Does you know what some people on the left have actually done? Oh, you're a racist. Explain to me how. I'm supposed to deal when I've looked at this history. When did it change? Sometimes you are supposed to reach out. You're supposed to convince people of your argument. But don't just use all racist and call it a day. Explain the difference. Have them tell you the answer. Now, you and I both know, and it's a secret, you and I both know it's racism. But ask them how they would feel if they had to deal with some of the stuff that we had to deal with. It is called getting people to empathize with you. He's looked like, dude, just looked shitty as hell.
Which I have never seen.
Look at this face. No retort. No retort.
Right. You want to take 30 seconds to answer that? All right. We will be back after this message.
He just argued down somebody who, for all intents and purposes, is the white liberals that King was talking about. Oh, things are good now. Things are better now. He just argued down someone without calling them a racist, without being condescending. This is a masterclass in how you have those conversations with these people. And I'm not gonna say that Paul Weiss was a racist and shit like that. No, it's like, okay, what do you do in this situation? What am I supposed to expect in this situation? What would you have me do? Never once. He said, oh, it's different. And let me explain the difference. When your arguments are too weak to stand and use a different word and let the person who's listening fill in the connotations in themselves, you have a fucked up ass argument. Anyway, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and all that other good shit. We're gonna cut this video segment here. You know, I still haven't figured out a color for this. I still haven't figured out a color. Although I do admit, it is something that is. I like the fact that I'm working with the negative color space. Let's see, like 36. Huh. I'm trying to figure out a light color that will go there. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking lime green. The fuck need that though? It's too light. Yeah, I think that's the color I'm gonna go for, the lightest color. I still don't know what the body's color gonna be. And I guess I should have decided that before I colored everything else, but I don't know. All right, cool. Anyway, shit, I've been streaming for about 3.5 hours. I don't know, I may stream a little bit later on. It's 7:20? God damn. I guess I can finish working on the color of the hair before I do anything else. Anyway, guys, what did you think of the stream? I know, like, normally I'm blitzing through videos. I decided to take a little bit more time actually with the videos, and instead of blitzing through the stream. I want to actually try some new features with YouTube. I know that they have it where your live streams can actually go and be set to a specific playlist. I think I'm gonna actually start doing that.
One of the largest.
No. No. Podcast. Might as well do this while I'm on stream since I'm thinking about it. Might as well. Do the VODs. Yeah. Might as well do this, huh? Do I have a square picture? I don't think I have a square picture. Oh wow, I do not think I have a square picture. Let me look at downloads. I may have a square picture there. All files. Which is weird that they want you to have a square picture. I don't think I have any square pictures at all. Huh. Let's see. You know what's funny? I think this is a square picture. Actually, I know it's a square picture. Yay, I've done it. Yeah, I'm about to just I think I'm about to just end stream. It was fun. It was fun, guys. It was definitely fun. Yeah. it's fun. I want to actually say thank you guys for actually just taking the time and making sure that we go over these videos. I promise, guys, I'm gonna just start doing more. I'm gonna be doing more videos and making sure that we can actually enjoy ourselves later. Um, and you'll see an update of this video of the picture. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Just enjoy the rest of your day, and just thank you guys for watching. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to have to say, remember, let's go back to it. Remember, always touch titties, but always with consent. And take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, and people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, it just gets on you and it starts
eating. The system levels them.
Pretty soon it's all gone.
Is that what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.